to zoom in.
Okay, in place of any
I'm
other
good at
adjective,
zooming.
use the word tacky.
Okay.
Oh, I feel so tacky today.
This is going to come across as tacky, but turn.
Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, I'm gonna zoom in.
There's South America.
It's not really working.
On your own, see if you can draw the pressure belts. And then if you're feeling really adventurous, draw the winds.
Really, only if you're
Louder.
feeling really
You
tacky.
need to do this too.
Yeah.
Don't make it tacky. Make it nice and neat and everything.
Nice and tacky.
Everything needs to
Be tacky.
match and not be tacky.
What are you singing? What are you singing, Shanti?
I'm not done yet.
Good.
What?
What's up with your current?
Shouldn't be taking you too long to do this. Just some L's and some H's. You're only gonna have two big pressure belts here.
So let me get this right.
You got it right.
Yeah.
And think carefully about the winds. That's right. Get them right. Try not to depend on somebody else. Think through which way the winds are going to go.
These are going to go this way.
You'll have
These are going to go this way.
3 wind belts. 2 pressure belts and 3 wind belts. Put on here.
Yeah, they're gonna go towards the lower.
All right.
Wait.
Between 40 and
Time to check your answers. I'll give you a little more time, but you should be done with your pressure belts by now. And your winds. I'll hold myself back as long as I can.
Should we draw the winds at the high pressure, like at the top, the ones that,
Draw all the winds that are on this map that would go on the page.
what if we see someone up there?
Now watch me check your answers. From
Because
20 to
now
30
it's the northern
degrees.
hemisphere.
This is the horse latitude.
Oh yeah.
High pressure. From 5 degrees north to 5 degrees south. This is the doldrums. This is low pressure. In the southern hemisphere, the wind is going to go from high pressure to low. So it's going to go northward here. It's going to go counterclockwise. And that means the winds are going to the left on the map like that. Down here where my pencil is, they're going to go away from this high pressure belt toward the low pressure belt at 60 degrees. They're going to go counterclockwise again because it's still the southern hemisphere, which means they kind of go like this. And there's one other place where there'll be winds right here. You can't really see the high pressure, but you know they go toward low pressure. So somewhere up here to the north, there's a high pressure belt. The winds are going to go from north to south. We're in the northern hemisphere now, so they curve clockwise. They're going to go like this.
Got that
They're going to be the mirror images of these winds right here. These and those are mirror images of one another. All right, so the next thing would be that you have the pressures, the pressure belts create the winds create the ocean currents. Now draw the ocean currents, see if you can get them right. And treat this like an island. It's not really an island, there's really Central America here and North America up there, but just pretend that they don't exist. This is all ocean around here.
The hot water tally is there.
It's on this side.
Yeah,
It's on the right side.
it's on the east side.
Which is the right side.
In this situation,
In all situations. You'd be going like, oh wait.
wait.
You gotta start from where the wind is.
Just said a mean word and the camera's right in front of you.
It's not like a hard word. I mean, it's not like, wait.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Hey. No, you're not.
You might want to just very lightly pencil in the currents with regular pencil and then color them
That's a
after
good
that.
plan.
Some people like to do that.
Nah.
Or you might just want to jump in and use color.
YOLO.
Is it like blue and then blue?
I just said yellow.
I I've heard
Do they go up
Chauncey.
like
It's just sinking. It's coming down out of the sky.
Chauncey, I think as soon as like the sun sets and then it go like this. Then you follow they go down because of the wind.
Are you trying to run? So
Oh,
you just look at the wind. So in this area right here, the wind is blowing.
Above the higher one.
So the water's
We have
going
basically.
basically.
And then this is basically
Oh, I remember that.
So this is going to go
And then this goes all the way that way, right?
It's here.
So where they originate?
Where's the water?
Oh, they originate from
There's the equator.
here.
So if it's water near the equator, the water that came from the equator, it's
And then this is coming from this side.
started from.
Good job. This is mine.
Some break off. Okay.
What, this water? Does it go this way?
All the way.
Does the water always come from the north latitude?
Do you guys are
So this,
Pretty much, yeah, because that's where the high pressure belt is. So, I guess so.
Oh my god. I'm failing it.
Hey, Sean, do you just
until
the
it
third
hits
way?
something that stops.
I think so. This is gonna be there's only a little bit of rainforest.
I love it.
Well, that is now part of the currents. Okay, so that's like 10. Yeah, 10.
And then it looks like they're kind of moving together, so they might just.
Coming in. They're like
That's right.
Who?
Yeah, that's right, Sean.
What?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I did, so.
So, you know, this goes down.
Well, I hope
I'm
it's
just
right.
gonna have an arrow. This goes to here.
How are you gonna come from there?
And now,
Is it so they're gonna go this way too?
zero.
Cross? Let's just leave that one. Yeah.
Wait. Rainforests are at 0. So, and then it looks like a tree.
I don't know if any hot water is right there.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
See?
No, the high pressure and low pressure, those create.
I'm not.
Here you are, yeah.
You're not having this conversation on camera.
Yeah, seriously. What did,
Camera.
what did you think you
There
said?
it is.
Canada.
So I'm going to do this. I've never done it this way before, but I think this might help. The only problem is you might get confused between the arrows that I'm drawing in the wind. So I'm going to try to make them a little different. I'm going to do little dotted arrows. So I'm going to make dotted arrows for the current, and then I'm going to color them after I'm done. So in this area where my pencil is right now, keep it simple. Does the water move to the left or the right in that area? The left, because the wind blows to the left. So I'm just going to make little arrows. Don't copy me. Just kind of watch for now. Going like this.
We can't really see them.
You can't see them? Okay.
No, it's just the glare.
Turn the light off.
Are the deserts always
Let me try it again, but I'll just use little tiny arrows.
25.
These are going to be my ocean current arrows. They're moving like that. And I'm just going to leave them alone for now. I'm going to go over to here. Guess which way they're moving right here? Which ways the water have to move? To the left. It's going to move with the wind, like this. And which ways the water have to move right here? To the right.
We did not get it wrong. Look. We got it. Oh, we
Now,
did those
if
wrong.
you're not getting this, I don't know how you're confusing yourself because it's going to move with the wind. If you have water and somebody goes, the water's going to move with the wind. That shouldn't be confusing. We're not to the confusing part yet. If you're confused, you've created some artificial confusion in your own head. I don't know what you're doing to yourself.
So it's not real confusion.
So down here, right here, look at the wind. Which way is the water going to go?
This
To the
way.
right, with the wind, like
To the right,
this.
to the right.
It really can't go against the wind.
Beautiful family.
Maybe you could come up with some way that could happen.
And those
Now,
arrows.
up here, all along north of this continent, which is actually an island in our imagination, which way does the water move? To the left, because the winds go to the left. So I haven't said anything about whether these are warm or cold or whatever yet. We'll get to that in just a second. Now, we've done one easy part. Now we'll just kind of just switch to another one. Right here in this area, picture, you can do this one of two ways. Let's just picture this as a wheel. You're going to get a rotating, circulating circle of water here. Look at the way the top of the wheel's moving. Look at the way the bottom of the wheel's moving. Which way is this wheel going to be spinning? Is it going to spin counterclockwise or clockwise? It's going to spin like this. So in this area, which way is the water moving?
Down.
Moving down. So another way to come at that would be to say that this water hits this coastline and some of it's going to split and go down. And then when it encounters this wind right here, it's going to get pushed back out. So that's what we have. Over on this side, you're going to get another rotating wheel of water. The top of it's moving to the left, the bottom of it's moving to the right. Is it going to go clockwise or counterclockwise? Counterclockwise, so which way is the current moving here? Up. Another way to say it is this water hits the continent and it splits and some of it goes this way.
That's how I've been there.
Like that.
Yeah, no.
Now, in this area, this is kind of weird. This isn't really a wheel in the same sense, because if I look at the doldrums, you've got the top of the water going to the left and the bottom's going to the left. Guess what it's maybe just doing here? Maybe this could just keep on going and these two currents could join forces and keep moving. See a problem with that? I guess you could say, now you may have said, this is going to go north, this is going to hit here, and something's going to go south, and they're going to go back to the right. If you did that, that's perfectly okay. You could have put that in there. Or you could just draw it like this. Either way, it's okay with me. And over here, this is just coming up, going this way, this is going this way. You could show this equatorial countercurrent going to the right and reappearing over here and then turning around, but I don't think it's really necessary here.
Yeah.
So, as a check, do I have everywhere where there's a wind, do I have the currents moving stop that. Same direction as the wind, same direction, yes I do. Here, this is gonna hit and split and go there. So I've done it all, now I just need to do the colors. And for the colors, you look at where the water is coming from. This water right here, did it come from a warm place or a cold place? Warm. This is the equator. This is the hottest part of the earth, and this water came from right around in here. So this is warm water. How about this water right here? Did it come from a warm place or a cold place? Came from a warm. It's starting by the equator and then going south. How about this water? Did it come from the equator or did it come from cold place? It came from far from the equator. So this is going to be cold water. This is going to be warm water. Now, crazy.
What if
Yeah, well, go through it all.
gonna be that moment of stop to jump? If
So
you
I'm just adding color to my currents now.
I don't mind. I don't think so. No.
All these that are either close to the equator or came from the equator, they're all red. These are warm ocean currents
That's a
up
good
here.
I didn't even touch it. I swear.
And these are cold because they're far from the equator. This is cold because it's coming from a place that's far from the equator, even though it is at the equator. And this is going to, what does it do when it hits this part right here? It splits. Some of it's going to go down here and go around. That's a really nasty place to go sailing down there, by the way. I'd avoided it if I had a choice. Now we're sailing. So there we go. We got it. The ocean currents and the winds. What's the next thing? So major deserts and rainforests. Go ahead and do those. In fact, if you want to just do a bunch of stuff, you need to do the rainforest, desert, and then do the coastal
See, Hannah, we did it right.
wet, and then do the rain shadow effect.
Oh, how do we draw the rain?
See if you can add in all
Oh,
those
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Major deserts, major rainforests, the coastal wet, and the
Wait.
rain shadow effect.
Wait. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do the coastal wet right now.
Coastal wet.
And I forgot to mention this. When all else fails, which coast of the continents is always going to be warm water? East Coast.
This whole
Always going to be
tip
warm water over there.
is gonna
Always
be
going to be cold water
coastal
over here.
wet.
That's,
Okay.
you could probably come up with an exception, but if you are on a test and you've forgotten everything else, you need to guess. Warm water on the east, cold water
How
on
does
the
that
west.
work? Do you just like
Some right here.
draw it like
Right
that?
here.
Let
Can you
it
tell me what?
Or is that
That's
tacky?
gonna be the coastal wet.
Yeah, there are a lot of coastal wets.
Coastal wet.
There
Tacky,
are
Shanti.
1, 2, 3.
I have 4.
Then you've got too many.
Coastal wet right here.
That's one I have 1 here, 1
Wouldn't it be like right here too? Oh, I was right.
This is
Coastal wet right here.
No, but right here.
I got 3.
off the ocean.
It's coming right over here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't there be one like right here?
How do you? Oh,
Yes, that's what I had too.
So this coast
Wait, so right here would be wet.
Wait, are we doing rain shadow effect now?
Okay.
yeah, I
My
would
baby
connect
bird.
that with the rain.
Your what?
My baby bird.
Except that would make it that over here.
Mother. That's why it's a rain shadow.
It's hitting right.
It doesn't say anything.
It's actually right there. The wind comes like this.
It's perfectly acceptable.
And then it has to go over the mountain.
Like that?
Generic continent.
They're not. Ish.
Ish. Shanti, look.
Shut up.
Okay.
They're right here.
I'm gonna, somebody else had it. Who had the question back here?
So Shanti.
The wind's coming like this.
What?
I don't know. That was weird.
I just heard.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do actually.
So we need to do these.
Right. So would it just be like floating right here, or would it be touch? It can't touch the desert because that's tacky, but
Oh, this is easy.
it's tacky.
Okay, what about this? Is no rain shadow. There's no rain shadow. None of the rain shadow. Do not hurry.
Yellow.
But if there was,
Guys, is this the only place where there would be rain shadow, or wouldn't there be like some right here?
right here. Yeah, and I'm gonna cry. And
Wait, why? No, but there wouldn't be a rain shadow effect right here. It would be like right here.
no, only on the mountain.
That's what I meant.
Wow, Hannah. You're supposed to be the smart one.
What does that mean?
My gut says yes. And my gut
It
says
means exactly what it says.
What is when, guys?
I don't care.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
so it's
true.
a sad day.
That is not true, and you know it.
Right.
Guys, you know that's not true.
It is true. Let's ask the camera.
The camera, you're gonna ask
They're
the
all gonna say Hannah.
Who's they all? The students. Oh, the students.
I don't even know if she's able because I'm gonna want to show this. It's made out of copper. No duh. That's why.
Yeah, then I have to open up that door. Hey, camera. Oh, hello.
Hey,
I
look.
want to show this.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Oh, I don't think anyone wants to see that.
Hello.
Except for Luke's.
Which side? The east side or the west side?
Wait, Nick.
Okay. I'm just going to go through the rest of this. If you aren't done, I'm sorry, but I don't want to take too long with this. major rainforest would be, it's always, if we weren't very sophisticated, I would just make all this green between 5 north and 5 south. But theoretically, if you had this island out in the middle of the ocean and there was warm water on this side, some cold water mixed in on that side, it would make this side of the rainforest bigger, this side of the rainforest smaller. This is like a warm, steamy ocean. This is like, you know, a cold shower. So theoretically, the rainforest would be a little wider than the doldrums on the right and a little narrower on the left. In actuality, it doesn't look like that on the maps, but let's just stick with theory for this. Then the desert is going to be down here. It's the opposite. It's going to be bigger on the cold water side and warmer on the, or smaller on the warm water side, and it won't quite touch the Atlantic Ocean.
Tacky.
It's tacky.
Tacky.
Everybody else be tacky.
The farther you get down here, the more this map looks like reality, because we get away from North America and it's troublesome. The next thing, the places that are coastal wet, there's one big area right along here. All along this coastline, the wind is coming off the ocean from the Pacific, hitting Chile.
Yeah.
The next place is right along here. This whole area, the wind's coming off the Atlantic. And then the third one is all along this coastline right here. The wind is coming from this direction, hitting. Not over there. There it's gone all the way across the continent and then come out. So it's just this coastline, and right here. And then the last thing to add in is the rain shadow effect. When the wind goes across these mountains, what mountains are those?
Himalayan.
Genius. When they
Himalayan.
which side of these mountains, which side of the Andes is wet? The left,
I know.
because the air rises on the left side.
Good job.
So this is wet, partly because this comes off the ocean, partly because it's going up the mountains. And then back behind there, this side.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
You
you
didn't
have
notice
no homework.
Awesome.
I kind of, well, no, I'm going to give you homework.
No.
That was the best no.
Let's see. Let me think.
Eeny, meeny,